I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is September 27, Wednesday, 2023. So we had this bearish day expected. We did come lower, and we did wipe out some the previous day's low. So watch yesterday's video. So this will make all sense. Said that we would sell exactly from that daily imbalance, not daily, the weekly imbalance right here. And we would use that as resistance, came to a 50 level, and then sank all the way down for creating this range right here, stretched all the way down. I mentioned yesterday also the open of this candle here, and then somewhere inside here, somewhere maybe close to the middle, but more refined area here. I'm not sure if I touched on it yesterday, but this area right here, these last two down candles on this daily chart with this gap right here. See that? And then what we did is we came right to that last bottom candle here. So the last candle of the two down candles here literally hit it on the head, and then reversed, bought all the way back up into a 70 retracement. So pretty nice. And let's go into it real quick. As far as the 5-minute goes, you'll see here that I'm going to just back up a little bit. When we made this video yesterday, we were already in this fib right here. See this? So from this, I measured from here to here as a range. What did we do? We opened up, we retraced. So was it possible to sell from in here? Sure, of course it was. But with this leg more identified and expecting some type of better retracement than that, where would your next stop be? Would be right there at the 50. You have liquidity sitting there. You have the low of this weekly imbalance that we went underneath and came and tested it again. We already tested the 50 of it, and then we came to test underneath it. I'm just going to use that word test as lightly, but we made a high here at 4 in the morning in London's time, took out that low, and then retraced back up until right present. I'm today ready at 9 o'clock. Sure enough, this candle, the 9:05, brings the candle up and wipes out that piece of liquidity right there. Is this a 5-minute? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a 5-minute. I thought it was a 1 minute for a second. 1 minute looks very similar. And then right here, and as you'll see yesterday, I'm mentioning that in the video here, pointing to it. So go watch that video, it's very helpful. And then from here, you want to make another range down, right? So we're heavily bearish. They're obviously on an agenda. They're trying to accomplish, wiping out people and balancing the price at the same time, right? So this was definitely a deeper discount area from where the price can go to. And then that's why you see a nice reaction here, and we're super oversold on here. It's gonna be funny how they do this, and I'll get to that in a moment. But just explaining this here, so what's it called? Nas and S&P are both making in the same vicinity, right? S&P does not take out that low. So I'm sorry, that high. So it's a lower high. It's a crack in the correlation. So we had higher highs here and higher highs here. And then this was the crack here. So we were expecting to be bearish anyway, though. But really, it's a matter of who's taking out the high first or not, right? Or they all could have done the same thing, to be honest. If they all went 3, I would have still sold it. But just explaining here. So because we're bearish and we're trying to get into this deeper area, right? So that being said here, beautiful. I mean, I can't get any better than that, to be honest. So beautiful sell there. All right, so then 9:30 kicks in, push the price down, retraces right into it. I'm gonna get to 1 minute so you can see this better. But from a general gist, and forget all the minor details. The general gist is, as you can see here. So I got these projection lines here just to kind of explain how we got down here. Not really using this all together, but the general gist when we made that lower high here, which is now getting into the 930 pre-open, price shooting down, and obviously we got to break that low to make a new range, right? So today I decide to hold the trade, and I wish I held it longer, but I knew it was going to be a good range. But this was as far as I was going to go here, and I was going to participate more, but I wanted to stick to not trading past 11 o'clock or 11:30 too much. So it's just something that I'm implementing right now, and it's just keeping me safer instead of being in the charts all the time. I got a wedding coming December 10th, so I got a lot going on that I'm doing in the back end right now. So I'm kind of playing it this way, and I'm leaving definitely money on the table. But beautiful panning out the way it panned out. Look at this stretched out. How many drives do you see here? Obviously, that's our challenge. We don't know how many drives it's going to come down, but a general projection. Which I'll get into a moment, is look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drives, 5 solid drives. Actually, that considered one in on the 1 minute. I'll show you in a second, but let's just count this as 1, count this as 2, count this as 3, and count this as 4. So boom, right away, right when it hits this level, look, take a look at this. You can't even see it on the 5 minute. Takes off and then goes and tries to retrace, wipe out people, and got to a 70 here, and that's where we're stuck at. And now we've opened, doing this video a little bit late, but so here's the idea. You have two options. You can either play the sequence game or play the breaking this low and then trying to buy up and all that, but this range is really tiny. A 50 level is not bad or anything, and I'm not saying that it couldn't have retraced higher and still went a little bit lower and bought again. But what I'm saying is if we're looking at the ranges idea, look at the previous day's range. This was, I believe, about 400 points right here, or yeah, something like that. And then this range here turned out to be 500 points, right? So, this is one of the reasons why I got out here, was for a couple of reasons. Number one, I was happy with the profit. Mission accomplished. I mean, the goal was to take a sell here and take the profit below here, period. Anything else is extra, and you shouldn't probably be doing it. But same speaking, if you understand your levels and you're confident and you want to do that. But in general here, I would take the 3 drives here. See this 3 drives? I would be done. And then as far as the fib here, see this fib? So don't get lost in all this. This retracement from here to here to here. That was when we sold. Okay, so we want to make a new range down. This is the negative 27 extension right here as a projection, and this is the 61. Now, I told myself, I'm like, bro, just hold it. But I was like, you know what? It's all good. Take the profit and run away, right? Because I don't want to overtrade, and then I don't want to be involved with these people. I really don't. I'm not playing with these people. But same time, just to give you an idea here, these are the 2 levels that I would have took it, and I take it here. Number 1, because it's 11 o'clock for me. All right. Number 2, it's great profit. Number 3, I got 3 drives. Number 4, I am above the 20 extension, right? And I don't need to be perfect, because there was times where I've waited for it to come to the 20, to the 27, and we literally miss it just like this and then take off, right? Because remember, and I'm saying all this because we don't know what's going to happen, number 1. Number 2, we've overexhausted this sell. Can we still come down one more time? Absolutely, one more time. And then they might even try to grab this liquidity from what is this? This is June. Actually, I'll go here. May 25th. So, that's the that would be technically the low of the month, right? Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, June 1st. Yep. So I don't know if we're going to come down. I don't want to get into that in a second. I'm still trying to talk about this, but because this is, I'm sure, challenging for people. I mean, it's sometimes still challenging for me, but I got to make the right decisions, right? Let me go to 1 minute so you can see the order flow here. It's a little bit better, real quick, and you can see here. Basically, we take out that high right there that I mentioned. See that high right there, that 4 something in the morning. So we took out that high, right? And this is a 1 minute. I'll stay on a 1 minute, and right away we wick and we take that candle. Just so I could zoom in. That's a on a 1 minute. It's a bearish candle, okay? But we're also using on different time frames. It's a little different, but you can compare it to just this candle itself. Because once the price goes below, you're as far as this time frame is concerned, you can push the button, right? If you want it to for it to break and come back above to get into the wick. The wick is a candle in itself to me, right? Because this is bearish. Or you should be really looking at the wick of this bearish candle, because I'll look at this wick on different time frames. It'll look different, but I'll use that wick as that body of price where it can enter, but it can't go above it, or generally more than 50% of that wick, right? As you see, look how it's dancing and doesn't come in, right? So beautiful entry, automatically already in. If you didn't get this and you want a more confirmation, well, you had another break here, breaks that low, comes down, because we're bearish, right? You get this imbalance here, it pops up. I'm going to draw it, might as well, because this you could have got in here as well. I'll just do that. All right, so pops in, the stop loss has got to be above that candle, because you need it to progress down, and that high of this candle is the high of this imbalance, and that would be where the stop loss would be for me if I took this entry. Because if it's going higher than this, then we might be wrong altogether, right? So I'm familiar with here and here and here, and then sure enough, you get another one. You get a drop right here. This is now pre-930. This is 929. 929 shoots the price down. 930 right here shoots this price down. Test to open, retraces right back into it. Right, and then you can be a seller at 50% of it. You gotta have balls to do this. You gotta be able to execute these type of trades. If you're sitting here waiting for it to tap that, then you missed it. See that? See how they play this game? So you missed it right there. And then if it was coming down, you could have pushed it because of obviously this is happening very fast, but it's better on smaller time frames. But for the 1 minute, this is how you have to exercise this. So if you didn't like that, then you could have retraced. It could have came down here, right? So it comes up, comes down, and hits that, and then closes. This candle, if it's bearish candles, this candle retraces up first, gets more into this. I would have liked it to seen it hit here, but that's okay. That would have been another entry. It just being inside this candle in itself is a trade, or a model, or a trade idea. I don't know what you're using or how you want to use it. Many ways to do this. But anyways, then you do very sneaky here. You see this. Look at this. See this little gap right here? I knew we would come back to this level. We probably will. We haven't yet. But I know that if it doesn't come down from here now, then we're probably going to come up here and get into this gap. Just remember this gap, because this is super suspect, because it would have been nice for this candle to pop it, at least tap that. Obviously, we're in the open gap of today, so it's not that necessary, but would have been nice. Anyways, let me just continue. Anyway, the point of this is that you're traveling down to break this low here, which is the previous day's low, and then we take a look at every entry model as well here. As far as this imbalance goes, price is holding it. It does tap above this high, but it doesn't tap above that high. So in this imbalance that I've got highlighted, that's the real high of where the stop loss should be. Should not be going above this high. This is normally like 8 out of 10 times it won't break this high of this candle, but they were dirty and they did. So that's what it is. But if you understood that this was the last up candle, see this wick right here? I'm on a 1 minute. This last up candle, well, it breaks below. This closes, breaks below, and pops in this candle. So, and it's pretty high too. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty high, but probably 50% of that wick right there. But it doesn't break above there. So if you're entering here, your stop loss. If you're entering with this idea, then your stop loss should be right here. Same goes with this entry here for that. Or if it breaks down below, then your stop loss has got to be above that high. And you're continuing forward, but you're taking a look and you're respecting that imbalance. This is a 1 minute. So I'm going to just only teach on a 1 minute, forget lower time frame. Anyone can do this on a 1 minute as well. You're just going to get a little bit lack of clarity sometimes. Anyways, price breaks down, takes out the daily low, then retraces back up. Look how dirty that is. It's pretty dirty. And then comes right back up. Doesn't break that high now. Okay, doesn't break that high because that's the new protected high. All right, and if you saw it come above here, then you got problems. Then you should be buying, most likely. But anyways, still respecting. And you see the order flow. Study it on your own. You'll see the order flow on yourself, right? But constantly respecting. Gap here stays unfilled, which is fine. You got this last up candle. You got this imbalanced price. They seal that there. Sells from the open of that candle, comes down, comes down, comes down. You're getting your order flow lower. You break below. Now we got that previous previous day low right there. I dragged it out just like I've been doing these whole last days and days of videos. And look how we get this imbalance right here. We go below, we break up. Now I'm done though. And what's funny is I saw this as buying and coming up into here and possibly selling from here. I was going to just put my trade here. I wasn't feeling it and I decided to not do anything. But it fucking panned out so gorgeous. And I was like, damn. I was like, how could you see it that well? I guess, it's just experience. But look what the price does. Comes right back into this imbalance. Tests that previous day low. I dragged it out. Look at 1, 2, 3, which is, sometimes scary in a sense where it pops up, but could be for future later, which is what they used it for. But stayed inside this imbalance right here, and used that last up block as an entry as well. So respecting, if you were entering here, your stop loss got to be above that high right there, right? See that right there, and works out, shoots down. You see all the bearish candles, coming down, breaks that low. All right, breaks that low. This comes up. Look how it doesn't test. Let me zoom in real quick here. This comes down and retraces back up into a gap in itself as well. Look at that imbalance right there. See that? So we do go right to it, okay? But notice how it's not tapping here, up here, right? Or this candle, which is a little suspect. Does it have to? No, but should it? In my opinion, yes. See this little gap right here? So it pops in, but this is just still the leg coming through. So it's not going to really retrace from here. This is more of a new range, new leg, and resistance as well. Look how we come right back and we tap, above that high, because everyone tried to get in there too, right? And then you're now tapping this block right here, this up candle right here. See that? So beautiful, right at the open. I didn't even put it at the open. I put it on the wick. Here, watch this. This is a little better but it's, it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect at this point, but that's as good as it's going to get. But notice when it's in this imbalance, it doesn't break above that high or that high, because this is the highest candle of this imbalance of the 3 candles right there. Right? See that? So nowhere near that. Your stop loss would generally be here or here. I personally, if I had took this trade, I would have had my stop loss here because I'm waiting for this candle to close. So it to close, price can come up back in it. I don't want it to break above and then it'll shoot down, or you got a retracement right there. So, that's how I would have handled it. I wouldn't have, if it's coming above here, then I'm probably in trouble to begin with. Right? But notice how drag this out. Beautiful body stay inside. That's another entry right there. You could have took that for a new leg down to get to this area. And you do have, you do have this target right here. You do have the 12 o'clock. I was going to hold this all the way till 12, but I chose to be getting out at 11. So this was a really nice area too, but it's not that serious, to try to catch all this. But anyways, and that's the 61. Remember from this fib where we sold from today, projection down, and 61 was nice too. And you could have also did this. You could have put your projection here from here to here down. Whoops. I gotta make this video shorter. So, oh, that's ugly. All right, and then another reason why I got out was because it was above this half deviation from here to here, this retracement down. This is another way to project, and should have just took it to the one because this is generally pretty solid. But again, the profit, and I was happy with what the time it was and all these other things. Plenty of ways for you to hold this trade to make that new lower low leg. And what you get out of this and what you see and what you make, it's up to you. There's no wrong way to do this here, but I personally should have held it to here because I knew it was gonna go there, but I didn't want to wait and find out, and I didn't want to play around because we are getting to the end of the range and we could possibly go back up now, right? Because we do have all these lower highs that I've been saying yesterday. So watch that video so it makes sense. And then also, you know, we've reached a far objective. So again, now getting in today, and then here's some confluence with the dollar. Dollar still was going up, and as you can see here, they're just coming to attack liquidity and get into this block. We're probably going to take out that high right there. All right. I don't need to drag it all out, but these levels are of interest. All right, and now we're and to get in here is probable, but right now we're inside here. So does dollar start to reverse down? I don't know. There is a lot of opportunity on the top side still, even in the short term. So that might keep us coming down. It's 626 doing this, and you can see this is already retracing down now. That was probably a great place to sell from. So getting into as far as to tomorrow goes, so we still might have bearish order flow this week and next week because historical data shows the fourth quarter first starting, which is October 1st, starting to come down first a little bit and then go up. So I don't know if we're going to be involved in that, meaning something like this, where wherever the price is, the price comes down lower. So maybe we play around here and then come down, but it's possible that we bounce that way, right? So I don't know if this is what's going to happen, right, to the 50 here. We might stretch down first, but too much liquidity here. And it definitely a target. If you look on the weekly here and the daily, we will probably visit that. But when is it going to happen? It's probably going to start next quarter. But as far as high as up here goes, maybe we do have news tomorrow, and we got GDP tomorrow and stuff like that. So it's going to be a wild week. I'll be honest with you because, but I also don't want to expect too much. But because we have news for Euro tonight, I believe. So, or London, I should say. But so as far as what I'm trying to say here is right now, if I was to keep following the flow, right now we're at a nice area to sell from. So, and I saw this buy. I want to mention this too. Once we saw this, I was done trading, but when I saw this, I was like, bro, this is going to buy all the way up from here. Sure enough, it's at 130, right? You got 130 time, which is right here, peaks down first, and then boom, gets into the second 2 o'clock hour, retraces, beautiful buy right there. And I was like, man, fucking take it. And sure enough, I didn't want to get caught, because this day was similar to yesterday, right? But we closed and we stayed down here. So I wasn't sure if they were going to do all this. And sure enough, I missed my trade to buy up. But again, I'm not missing it if I'm not choosing not to, right? But I knew this would fucking happen. And then also, not just that day, but yeah, I'll just leave it alone for that. But yeah, we got that here on Monday. See that? Monday and Tuesday really, but Yeah, Monday and Tuesday were exactly the same, damn near. But yeah. Anyways, so where are we now? Again, we can just sell from here. So we could sell from here and come down and break this low. And then they might be hunting later this liquidity here from January 10. I'm sorry, June 1st. Sorry, June 1st, 2023. If we don't come down one more time, then we're gonna retrace maybe and buy back up, right? So as far as tomorrow goes, but if we're sticking with the regular flow, it is possible that it also comes up one more time to take out that liquidity and then come down. So I should see some crazy action by let's just say yeah, I mean, this might play around and lead us all the way into a situation where we were ready at 8 o'clock, 9:30 here, or 9, yeah, whatever here. If not, then we'll just come down from here. So there's no other way, or it's gonna just break through. We might, if it's bullish, then we would kind of see it come down here, and then we take buys tomorrow in the New York session here. Like I said, I don't know, but I gotta stick with the flow, and selling from here or right now here is the agenda generally. So I hope this helps you guys. Take care and God bless.